Yo, it's your boy Cassow, man. We out here in LA getting this shit lit, man. Yeah, I'm from Portland, Oregon. Yeah, so it's a great city, man. You know what I'm saying? You get a lot of different aspects. You get, there's a small black community, so you do get the violence and the, you know what I'm saying? But then, there's a lot of beautiful places, scenery, a lot of good food places to eat. But compared to LA, I just think LA, man, just got a lot more opportunity, a lot more sun, beautiful women. It's just, it's just a good place to be. Good energy, you know what I'm saying? Like motivational. I go back home sometime and it's kind of dark and shit. So, it lacks a little motivation there. But yeah, I fuck with LA a little more. I ain't gonna lie. But Portland always gonna be my home, so I ain't never gonna visit. I had a lot of phases, you know what I'm saying? I was, shit, I grew up with my grandparents, so, I had a little bit of leeway, but yeah, I was grounded. Your grandparents always give you that real game. So, I was grounded and shit, but still I was a young, black, curious kid, so I was in bullshit, fucking up, running away, all that type of shit, But, that's just all part of growing and becoming who you are. You do shit, you learn. If you smart, you correct what you do. But yeah, man, I grew up, I grew up with my grandparents because my mom, she was on drugs most of my life. So, my grandparents took me in, and that's just who I seen as my parents at the time. But, once I identified, what was going on, it took a toll on me as a kid, as any kid would if their mother was on drugs. So, that was it just grew me into who I was, and it started reflecting in the music. It just built character. That's just what it was. My favorite artist always has been Jay-Z, and always will be. I grew up listening to a lot of shit. Eminem was a dope artist I grew up listening to. I had some little Mexican homies that stayed down the street. We used to lift weights and listen to Eminem. They had me doing all kind of shit. Shout out to them. But yeah, I love 50 Cent when he first dropped. That shit was crazy. I was on that shit heavy. Niggas is tripping, acting like they wasn't on that 50 Cent wave when he hit. Who else did I fuck with? I used to just fuck with. I grew up with my grandparents, so they used Earth, Wind, and Fire, like a lot of old shit too. Like I grew up on a lot of jazz and just instruments. My grandpa and shit used to just play shit that just had all instruments, just vibing like. So I got all types of shit I used to listen to. I don't know the exact age I first started making music, but I remember my uncle had a little studio in his room, and I used to always like sneak and try to listen, and I used to be outside the door writing my raps just in case like he asked me to come in there like and come and get on this. He was weakish. He was hella weak, but when you younger, like you anything is good. I thought he was dope. But I used to be the little kid outside the door trying to sneak in, write raps. I had a little karaoke machine. Like I used to record myself, bro. I just always was on it, for real. I used to write poetry as a kid, like when we used to do shit in class, like where we had to write poems and shit. I used to love that shit. And I used to love to do little collages and shit, and it just all started translating into liking music and wanting to be an artist, I guess. Cassow is originated from Picasso, which my homie Doe, Andre Payton, rest in peace, he gave me that name. And I just ran with it and just started calling myself Cassow, added the W. And shit, that was just pretty much it. Like, but he got killed back home. He got shot, so I keep pushing hard for him too. Yeah, just family, shit, just being from there and not a lot of opportunity. Being one of the artists that's trying to push this shit, all that shit is inspirational. It's dope to come from a city where you don't already got a lot of people that already did X, Y, and Z. You know, it's challenging to try to be one of the first pioneers. So yeah, that's what I'm after. Bro, you know what happened? It was this girl. She hit me one day like, "Yo, my nephew really fuck with your music, but he's fucking up. Like, he fucking up in school. He about to go to a boys' home. He's fucking up. Can you talk to him?" And me, I'm just like, hell yeah, I'm gonna talk to him. You know, I'm all for helping the youth and a young black kid that's inspired by me. You know, definitely. So we set up like a little lunch thing. He didn't even know. He had no idea. I hit the corner. The kid started crying, like bawling, like I never thought I would meet you. Like it was crazy. That moment there that was like 4 years ago. But just that moment right there let me know, like, damn, people really touched by this shit. To see a kid from my own city start crying when he see me because of the music I'm making, that did it. I was gone after that. That was it. I wasn't even gonna put that song out, bro. I didn't even like that song at first. But it's crazy because it seemed like that's how it always be. Like the biggest songs be the ones you don't even think will be that big. Like I swear to God, before I put that out, I was not planning on putting it out. Like, but that shit took off, man. I mean, hey, you never know what the world will fuck with. You just gotta put that shit out there. That's what I even tell my homies, my other homies that do music and shit. I be telling them, like, just put that shit out. You never know sometime. Like, if you hold back a lot of the music, you might be holding back on one of your hits, you know? I didn't think it was a hit, like, but the way it went, like, and what people describe as a hit, it could fall under those guidelines. It's authentic for sure, you know. It's chill, it's laid back, it's real. Sometimes it's player, you know. Sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's aggressive. Sometimes you like, damn, that nigga going off. Like, I feel like when people hear my shit, they just be like, I fuck with him, you know. That's all I really want. I want somebody to hear my shit, be inspired, influenced, and be respected. Like, I fuck with his shit, I fuck with what he's doing. Like, I'm all for it. He ain't saying no bullshit. He got style. Like, let's go. Sometimes you don't even feel that shit. Like, when I was on tour with Post, like, I still to this day, like, it's not, I don't look at it as big as it really was, you know? Because like, but I learned so much, and I don't feel like I didn't give it my all. So I'm loving that shit. Like, I went out there every night, killed it, had a full crowd every night, and then I would go watch his shows and his sets, and he had the same set every night, but still you pick up new shit every night, every time you watch it. And I just looked at it. I was just been a student the whole time, really. Like, it was post moment. Like, I'm just a student. I'm thankful for the opportunity to learn. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching. I go out there. I'm ready. I'm pumped. Like, everybody don't get that opportunity. Like, I was the only show I was scared was the Portland show. I don't know why. I think all my family was there. It was the first one that I jumped on the tour. I was scared that day. I can honestly say that show I came out scared. But other than that, bro, I was excited to go out there and prove myself. Like, I wasn't scared. The Lil Xan show, that's in my hometown. Like, anytime I go on the show with, you know, artists in my hometown, like, I'ma already come out with the energy. Like, I gotta give it my all anyway. So, I mean, sometimes you just can't even worry about all that shit. Like, you just gotta go out there and do your thing. On the Stoney tour, I could say that Arizona was definitely, they gave me the best response. All the responses were great, but it was just like flawless. Like they just were under my spell. Like anything I said, they was just at the whole crowd was participant. Like, and they just were there to have fun. Like Post fans are there to have fun. So if you're an artist that can entertain them and just make them feel like, you know, they having a good time, you good. Nothing to worry about. We had the same manager, so you know, we involved in a lot of the same things. You know, I get a lot of opportunities. But Post is a cool dude. Like he's good. You know, I've been to his crib. Like we play video games together, beer pong, like all the bullshit. He a good dude though. Like what I like about Post is when he came to Portland, like he wasn't on no like after the show like bougie shit. Like he kicked it with my family. I looked over, he's sitting there talking with my brother just about real life shit for like 30 minutes, like just shit like that. Like just being a real person. Like, man, he's a good dude. So I mean, our relationship is good. You know, we just both artists. He's big, he's doing his thing. I'm grinding, doing my thing. So it's like, you know, whenever we come together, it's definitely dope vibes, for sure. He had a show, I don't know if it was at OC Observatory or somewhere, but he had a show, and my management flew me out, and they was like, we want you to rock this show with Post. And the first two acts, the crowd booed him. Like, it was crazy. Like, not booed, like, but Post Malone, that's damn near booing if they asking for Post while you in the middle of your fucking set. And I get there, you know, Post is in the back like, yo, I fuck with your music, shake me up, like, you know, because the whole team been playing this shit and like, yo, this is a dope artist. So he already knew who I was when I got there. Then I killed the show. Oh man, it was over. Like you could just clearly see the difference in these artists and me coming and me taking the set, and oh man, it was history. I've crazy shit. I've lost friends that I never thought I would lose. That's the craziest shit that happened to me since this music. Like right now, even in the position I'm in, I would have thought years back that at least certain people would be with me. But man, I done lost the closest of them. You know, just because of life, success. It's just a lot of factors that comes with music that, you know, people don't understand around you, you know. And they might get caught up in the glitz and glams of it, but not really understanding the logistics of it and what's really going on. And okay, well, how can I help this artist? Or if this is my homie, okay, well, let me fall in line. I believe in what he's doing. Let me do X, Y, and Z. Bring this to the table, not just, you know, being around and not bringing any ideas. I got to the point where I only want people around me that bring shit to the table, not even bring it to the table for me, but for themselves. Like, if you doing shit for yourself, that's actually bringing shit to the table. If you helping yourself, because I don't gotta worry about you, and you could be your own man, and whenever there's man shit, we can come together, you know. So I lost a lot of friends. I could say that's what's happened through music. I don't even know if it's just life. Maybe it's just life. It might not even be music. I stopped trying to find friends and letting it just be organic. You know, like, you know, it seems like when you think somebody is gonna be a cool friend, or you do go to some events, do some shit, you know, but I just stopped trying to be friends with people and let it naturally happen. Like if y'all gonna be friends, y'all gonna naturally start talking and naturally start vibing. Like you don't gotta force anything. I'm not forcing shit no more. 'Cause every time I force something, you know, the outcome is crazy. You know, you gotta let this shit just happen. You know, friends come and go, but real friends is gonna stick. Trust me, they gonna stick, and they gonna understand you. A real friend gonna understand you. A real friend ain't gonna look at you like, why you ain't doing this for me? He gonna look at it like, well, shit, how can I help you, or at least get inspired by what I'm doing and do your own shit, and then we conquer this shit in a lot of different avenues. But hey, you know, it just is what it is. You just can't give a fuck, really. Like, that's the best way to get through this shit. Because if you give a fuck, you gon' overthink shit. You gon' fucking be lost in this shit. You just can't give a fuck. You gotta stick to you, what you think is dope, your plan, your vision, your brand. Like, that's what I learned. Like, individuality. Like, a lot of people do the same shit or be on the same wave, but it's always dope to hear somebody that's making great music but don't necessarily have the same sound and style as people. So I mean, shit, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'll sip some lean every now and then. You know, I'm not just promoting it, and I'm not just kicking the cup either. Cause, you know, every now and then I'll sip, but I'm not a addict. I'm not just sipping that shit every day. I might sip it 10 times a year, really. Like, it's not like a thing like that for me, you know. But weed, yeah, definitely every day I'm smoking, I'm rolling up. Because if I don't, I'll be mad, irritated, and shit would piss me off daily. Just believe in yourself, kids and artists on the come up. Like, you know, it's a process. Like, some of these artists pop overnight, some of them don't. But if you believe in your shit, you gonna push it. Like, you can't just, don't ever base your success off anyone else's, because you'll get fucking lost trying to be like somebody else. Be yourself, be original, have a game plan. Try to at least have some strategy to what you're doing. Don't just release music without no strategy. You know, maybe put some with some videos, then with some visuals, and lay the shit out. Have some marketing, you know. And do as much work as you can on your own without needing a handout or not needing money from anyone else. Because anytime you get money or a handout from somebody, it's definitely due back. So don't be quick to take money out here in these streets. Just because these artists got these big deals, some of them don't own none of their shit and they regret it. So just do as much as you can on your own.